What's going on, everyone? This is Dom, and today we're comparing the iPhone 14 Pro to the new iPhone 15 Pro. Is it worth the upgrade? Let's find out. First off, let's start by taking a look at the design. At first glance, things appear to be pretty similar here, but there's a big chunk of difference between the two. The construction of these two phones are completely different. The iPhone 14 Pro is made up of stainless steel that comes in at a total weight of 206 grams, which definitely weighs a little more than the new titanium frame on the iPhone 15 Pro that is only 187 grams. So the weight difference is a little more noticeable between the two, but regardless, titanium just feels equally as solid in the hand as the stainless steel did. So it's not really good or bad in either direction, though the titanium is said to be more durable than stainless steel, and the brushed look of it is definitely more appealing to me personally. And on top of that, it will definitely resist scratching better than a shiny stainless steel frame. As far as the overall design goes between the two, I'm definitely a fan of the titanium look and feel, but let's talk about different aspects of the design. Most everything else in terms of basic design is pretty much the same here. One of the bigger changes between these two is one that's stirring the pot a little for some people. The mute switch is now gone from the iPhone 15 Pro, and instead, we now have an action button. The mute switch is a classic and will be missed, but the new action button does carry some additional functionality with its arrival. You can customize this button to perform one of various actions on the iPhone now, such as silent mode, various focus modes, launch the camera app, and a variety of other options, including launching any app on the phone. And overall, the action button is pretty cool, and I think it's a little bit better, but I will definitely miss the mute switch. Rest in peace. When it comes to the display, both the iPhone 14 Pro and iPhone 15 Pro come in at 6.1 inches diagonally with a resolution of 2556 by 1179, both with ProMotion up to 120 Hz refresh rate, and the dynamic island at the top, which is definitely a favorite of mine, but otherwise not much has changed between the two around the front unless you count the slightly slimmer bezel on the iPhone 15 Pro. Internally though, we have some major gains in the processing department. With the iPhone 14 Pro, we had the A16 Bionic chip with 6GB of RAM, whereas the iPhone 15 Pro now packs the new A17 Pro chip with 8GB of RAM inside. Obviously, chips don't always tell the story on how powerful a phone can be, and at some point we have diminishing returns with all the powerful chips inside of our machines, but it's nice to have something more future-proof if you don't plan on upgrading for a while. Around the backside, we have a very similar looking camera setup between the two as well, but looks can be deceiving as the iPhone 15 Pro now has an upgraded 48 megapixel sensor when compared to the one inside of the iPhone 14 Pro. We also have a 12 megapixel ultra-wide camera here and a 3x optical telephoto camera that has a 12 megapixel sensor as well. Though, with the iPhone 15 Pro Max, you're getting a 5x optical zoom, so keep that in mind when making your decision. But instead of talking about the main camera sensors, let's see how they perform side by side. What do you think about the new main sensor in the iPhone 15 Pro? Is it worth the upgrade? Can you tell the difference in the photos between the iPhone 14 Pro and the iPhone 15 Pro? Definitely let me know in the comments section below. On top of the camera sensor improvements, the iPhone 15 Pro can take portrait photos without actually being in portrait mode, as needed on the iPhone 14 Pro. You can go in after the fact and simply choose to adjust the capture depth information to transform it into a portrait mode photo, which is pretty cool. On top of that, you have the choice between three focal lengths for the iPhone 15 Pro camera, which are 24mm, 28mm, and 35mm. Along with that, the 15 Pro now supports log video recording and 4K 60 in ProRes for all you video nerds out there. One of the more notable changes this year between the iPhone 14 Pro and 15 Pro is actually located on the bottom of the device. We now have a USB Type-C port for charging up the iPhone 15 Pro. Yes, Apple has officially ditched the Lightning connector, but the good news is that this change now allows for USB 3.2 speeds for transferring data on the Pro models of the iPhone 15. And we can now finally use one cable to charge an iPhone, an iPad, and a MacBook, and I'm personally a big fan of this change, but let me know what you think about Lightning's departure down in the comments section below. Some may say that these changes aren't strong enough to warrant upgrading to an iPhone 15 Pro, especially if you have something from recent years, but honestly, I'm not in that camp. I think that the things that have been added here on top of the functionality that iOS 17 brings to the table are definitely giving worthy upgrades and changes. Did I expect a massive overhaul of the iPhone this year? No. But that really hasn't been on the table or in the cards of the iPhone upgrade path for a while. We're getting to the point where these devices are literally at the bleeding edge of what technology is capable of, and I think the iPhone 15 Pro is definitely something to consider for most people. But that's just my opinion, and I would love to know yours, so definitely sound off in the comments section below. Are you upgrading to an iPhone 15 Pro this year? And if so, which device are you coming from? I'd love to know all your thoughts and opinions down in the comments section below. And if you enjoyed this video, please feel free to hit the thumbs up button, and if you're new around here to the channel, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you can be notified when new videos like this drop in the near future. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. I really do appreciate it. Once again, this is Dom, and I will catch you in the next video.